Hello, Stephan here with Liquidity with a video about the feudal origins of the English adjective mean. Where does the meaning of the adjective mean come from?
Liquidity.
The English word mean, spelled like this, can mean or denote several things. In fact, it can be more than just one word. It can be a noun, it can be a verb to mean something, and of course it can be an adjective. As an adjective, it denotes, for the most part, today in modern day English, something like malevolent or lacking in good character, not being a very nice person, for instance. More old-fashioned denotations of the adjective mean are something like common, shared, middling, in the middle, in between. All of the English words spelt like this have Indo-European roots. Many European and other Indo-European languages have similar words that mean similar things. So in German, for instance, we have the adjective gemein, which has both a more modernly used denotation of malevolent, not very nice, but it also has the somewhat more old-fashioned meaning of common and shared. So how do the seemingly disparate meanings or denotations of this adjective connect? How do you connect common, shared with not so very nice, malevolent, not of good character? This has to do with class politics of previous centuries, especially during the very long, many centuries lasting feudal period of Europe. During the feudal period of Europe, people actually believed that people of nobility were literally noble people, were literally better people. They were put in a place of privilege, in a place of high status, literally by God. They were part of a God-given divine order of things, a divine hierarchy, if you will. Therefore, if you were born of low status, you were put in the place where you belonged. So you were not only a common person, but you couldn't possibly be all that great of a person, not that good of a person, certainly not a noble person. Persons of non-noble status, non-noble birth, were perceived not only as socioeconomically inferior, but also in terms of their character. The vast majority of people within the feudal social order were considered subjects of their respective lords. They were considered really practically not much more than their property. Feudal princes, feudal lords, feudal nobility had more or less absolute power over their subjects. So perhaps becoming embittered or mean in light of such perversion of justice is somewhat understandable. As feudalism gradually died out in Europe and was gradually replaced with more creative and more nuanced forms of exploitation, some European noblemen set out to create an even more egregious and even more inhumane form of feudalism or subject keeping in the Americas, first with indigenous populations and then later with persons who were trafficked from Africa. It should come as no surprise that so-called mean people, common people, were really the ones who did most of the labor, especially back in feudal times, but even after that. So another definition of mean person is actually somebody who works, somebody who contributes to society, somebody who makes things possible, somebody who helps not only themselves but others survive and prosper. Next time someone calls you mean, wear that word as a badge of honor. And it is no coincidence that the English word villain, which comes originally from Old French, but then has also Latin roots, comes from a word that means nothing else but a commoner from a rural area, a farmhand, somebody who is a peasant, if you will. And that has a negative connotation too, doesn't it? So this is just one of many examples of how language, and probably all languages, are ingrained with prejudices, are ingrained with very ancient prejudices, certain beliefs that people have held for many hundreds of years, even if we don't believe those things anymore. So when you use language, be aware of that. Be careful with that. Words do matter. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like. Check out my other videos. If there's something you like, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so yet. See you in the next video. Cheers. Bye.